Company says the number 2 plant, not the number 1, had safely stopped all 4 of its reactors as of Tuesday. There were problems with the reactor's cooling systems after the devastating earthquake on Friday. And after Tokyo Electric replaced their pump motors, the temperatures in the reactors had dropped below 100 degrees Celsius by Tuesday. This is number 2 power station in Fukushima. U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet says 17 crew members have been exposed to low levels of radiation that was released from the Fukushima's nuclear power plant. The crew was on the 3 helicopters from the aircraft carrier USS Ronald Reagan. They were conducting rescue operations outside Sendai City. According to the 7th Fleet, they were detected with low levels of contamination. But it says the radioactive materials can easily be removed with soap and water. It has not detected any more contamination. The helicopters were also coated with radioactive traces that had to be washed off. The Navy said the source was a plume that was released from the Fukushima No. 1 nuclear power plant. The dose in this case is less than being exposed to radiation naturally in 1 month. The aircraft carrier was at sea about 160 kilometers northeast of the plant. Hydrogen blast occurred at one of its reactors on Saturday. The U.S. Navy says the Ronald Reagan and other 7th Fleet ships have been relocated. Now, all this is affecting the business world. Now, let's turn to Business Desk with Ron Madison. Ron.
Thanks a lot, Yuko. And we are at the lunch break, so we are at least seeing a pause to the selling barrage that we've seen so far today. Here's what we've got over the past 1.5 sessions. Losses yesterday of more than 6% today. Losses in the morning session of 6.5%, a total of almost 13% in 1.5 sessions. Let's get over now to the Tokyo Stock Exchange, where we join up with Emily Wang for the very latest. Emily, what can you tell us?
Morning, Ron. The morning session has just ended about nearly 50 minutes ago. The Nikkei has dipped below the key 9,000 level for the first time since September last year after the explosion at a nuclear plant this morning. Let's first take a look at the closing numbers for the morning session. The Nikkei ended the morning at 8,999. It's down 620 points, or that's 6.45%. But it is off its morning low of 8,948. And as I mentioned earlier, it is the first time since September 2010 that it dipped below the psychologically key 9,000 mark. Now, shares are trading lower across the board as concerns over the earthquake's mounting toll on the Japanese economy weigh heavily on market sentiment. Now, among the biggest decliners were the electricity and gas sector, which was down over 15%, and other resource-related sectors also down nearly 10%. Now, the power outages now being implemented by Tokyo Electric is another factor weighing down markets. Major manufacturers, including automakers and electronics makers, have had to stop production due to the damage from the earthquake, and the power outages clearly aren't helping them get back to business. And concerns over the implications of the latest explosion is also mounting. Prime Minister Naoto Kan's press conference began after the morning session ended, so we'll be watching how the latest developments affect markets this afternoon. Again, the morning session ending down over 6%, that's 6.45% at 8,999. So we'll be back with more this afternoon. But for now, back to you in the studio, Ron.
Okay, Emily, thank you very much for that. And markets are falling across the region today. Let's get you a recap of what's happening now. Okay, and we will be back throughout the day with business updates. For now, it is back to Yuko.
Thank you very much. There's some wrap-ups of the earthquake and tsunami. Aftershocks continue from the Friday's magnitude 9 earthquake that hit northeast Japan. The meteorological agency is warning of strong aftershocks that could also trigger more tsunami. The agency says about 200 aftershocks measuring magnitude 5 or more have occurred since Friday. It warns that strong aftershocks are highly likely. It advises that a quake registering 6 on the Japanese scale of 0 to 7 could hit, possibly generating another tsunami.
Hi, and welcome back to your world weather. We're taking a look at conditions across Japan right now. And satellite shots showing quite a bit of clouds starting to gather in the Sea of Japan here, and that is on its way across the country. We are going to be seeing a lot more moisture, and this will be cold moisture, so both cold showers and snow looking to spread first across the western flank of mainland Japan, and then really starting to seep in towards the Pacific side of northern Japan as well as throughout the day. So we are going to start seeing a lot more wintry weather for the country, and temperatures too will reflect that. It's going to be much, much cooler today compared to the past couple of days. We've been seeing spring-like days.